When I was filming The Coming of the Dawn, the ending part of The Innermost Limits, I got some good deep tube rides, but I didn't get that fantasy shot, sitting deep in the tube, looking out the hole and coming out. First wave we'll look at is a nice barrel at Lennox. When I came in, crew on the beach said, "Good shot, out of sight for a couple of seconds." I said, "Not deep enough. The camera only sees what's in front of you. I need to get a lot deeper." This wave was close. My timing was good. I cleared the lip no problem, but the camera didn't. I dragged the top of the camera housing through the lip as I pulled in. This slowed me down enough where blowback from the lip started hitting me. At first it wasn't too bad. I was still in there with a chance. Then the turbulence got worse, throwing me around until I lost edge control. There was enough film left for one more shot when I switched on the camera. Down the line, there was a section forming ahead. I caught up to a wobble in the face of the wave. I was trying to drive around this, the forward rail throwing spray back into the camera. When the wobble and section combined, I was perfectly placed, pulling in under the lip. The camera clearing it as the wave pitched out. A slight course change to the left, and that patch of daylight was getting bigger. The camera's fitted with a cutoff switch that shuts it off at the end of the roll. When I came out of the tube, it wasn't running. The camera had run out of film. I was shattered. The hero shot had gotten away again. Lennox Head is an interesting place to surf. The shape varies from south swell push to north swell closeouts. The best direction is east with a touch of north. The shape's usually not perfect. There's a bit of wobble in sections to deal with. Up from Lennox toward Boulders is the second break. This is a bigger, fuller wave. On big days, people tow in at it. This is a 4-pontoon Hodgman. These are a lot of fun to ride on smaller days when there's not enough power to drive the spoon. On bigger days, control can be a problem. It's inflatable, no fins, and likes to go sideways. The spoon gives me much better control when I'm shooting off of it. I was living in the back of an old sedan. Most nights I camped out at Lennox Point. Look to the right on the beach, you can see the car where I camped. I didn't sleep that good. The surf was building all night. I was up at first light. I've never seen Lennox look like this. An extremely long period swell had hit. This is the third wave of the set. Look to the left and you can see how far it is to the second wave. It was so hollow I didn't see how I could make the takeoff on the spoon with 17 pounds of camera gear on. I remounted the camera so I could use the mat. This has more float and I can paddle with both fins and hands to get going on the takeoff. When I got out, I took a small wave. It looked easy at the start. Then it dread square. Mats don't have any fins or hard edges to generate speed off. I pulled in, no chance. The wave ate me like I wasn't moving. I was lucky. The explosion blew me out the back. Coming to the surface, I watched the next wave break. No way to make the takeoff. Looking further out where they tow in today, it was bigger but had a much easier takeoff. By surfing it, I fantasized I could make it all the way through on the right wave. The outside part looked easy, big sloping takeoff. The problem was when I reached the point. The first section was pitching out double its height. The second section was a fairly normal looking tube that linked into the third section, which looked more mechanical than the first. This was shot 40 years ago. There's a couple of bits of film missing in this part. Paddling while clear of the point, I headed up there. After takeoff, I switched on the camera. Climbing up into the pocket, the wave had a big slope extending down toward the point. Surface conditions were perfect, light offshore putting a slight texture on the surface. Leveling out beneath the curl, the early morning sun lighting the top, big slope extending down below me. As I was turning away from the pocket, down the slope, the whitewater nicked my fins, causing the back to slide out. I swung my right leg forward. Jamming my fin into the wave face, I was able to pull the back in, stopping the slide and regaining edge control. I was really lucky to get it back under control. Usually on a wave of this side, if you lose it, you're done. The loss of control and resulting slide also lost speed. Not much, but I'm running late. I pushed the mat to 95%. The waves got that heavy, thick feeling, lots of water moving. Approaching the point now, the waves feeling the bottom and getting steeper. I'm running 99% now, absolutely on the edge of the performance envelope of this craft. Every coil I'm going over requires tiny adjustments in the trim. Your focus is so intense, everything slows down. Almost to the point, the wave's grinding me down. A large slab starts to pitch. This is where I wanted to be. But running late, I was here, at the back of the slab section, the lip throwing out close to double the height of the wave. The roof over my head a good 6 feet thick of pure energy. Coming through the slab section, I start to climb higher. The tube looking like one you would draw at school. Coming back to 95%. I'm moving to the third section, staying high. The tube getting bigger and more round inside. The wave spits, fogging the lens port with spray. Still driving the mat hard, a lot more face coming into the wave now. It's too big to wrap into the point and start to back off into deeper water. Running out onto the shoulder, I can hear the camera running. I've got the shot. My hands and forearms shaking from the rush as I switch off the camera. A few days later, I picked up the film at the post office. Chris Brock and I had a look at it. It exceeded any fantasy I had about getting a tube ride from the inside looking out.